Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't need to, and today we are talking about Palantir Technologies PLTR stock. In this video, we will be analyzing two articles, to where the first one is titled, Palantir's Alex Karp promotes the AI military industrial complex, but there are many reasons to be cautious. So we're going to be going over their latest news updates, catalysts, and if I think this company is a good buying opportunity, which is exactly what the second article talks about, because it's titled, Is Palantir Stock a Buy? So I'm not only going to be advocating to buy this company, but I'm also going to be going over my criticisms about why I personally plan to hold this company until they pull back in their overall share price, and then I'm going to buy the overall company. However, overall, spoiler alert, I think Palantir is a phenomenal company. I've been reporting on this company for over 2 years, and I think they have a fantastic long-term growth trajectory ahead of them, and you can benefit from this as long as you get them at a cheap price point, or at least a good average cost basis. So with that being said, don't forget to go and annihilate that like button for more videos on Palantir Technologies. Don't forget to comment your thoughts about your future price targets and price predictions for Palantir's PLTR stock. Subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to become a member of this channel to support me personally for as little as 99 cents, because that's what keeps me here on YouTube. However, if that's too expensive, don't worry. By subscribing, you're going to receive this content for absolutely free. And with that being said, I say let's jump right into today's stories. You probably already know that Palantir is a big data and analytics company which serves both commercial enterprises as well as government agencies, while also specializing in artificial intelligence and big data analytics. This company currently trades for around $16.50 per share, while on the higher end, analysts believe it could surge up to $18 over the next 12 months, or other bearish professionals believe this company could fall to around $5 over the next 12 months. And I'll add my own criticisms to those price targets later in the video, but right now let's go over their most recent news update. Alex Karp actually believes that artificial intelligence development should not be halted and instead should be encouraged, because like it or not, the United States is now in an artificial intelligence arms race about which country can create the most effective AI weaponry and defense devices. He even says that we must not shy away from building sharp tools for fear that they may be turned against us. Our hesitation, perceived or otherwise, to move forward with military applications for artificial intelligence will be punished. He's essentially saying, if we halt the production of artificial intelligence defensive devices, our adversaries won't. They're going to be pushing ahead, and at least from a defensive point of view, we also need to press forward on artificial intelligence, even in regards to national security and defense. He goes on to say that we want people who want to be on the side of the West, meaning the United States, making the West a better society. And he made this comment at a time when Google employees forced the company to pull out of a Pentagon AI contract, which was a project they were working on back in 2018. However, luckily, Palantir jumped in to fill that gap after Google, due to their employees, pulled out. Now, what's also interesting is that the former CEO of Google loudly announces that he wants further AI development, especially in the global arms race, arguing that it would only benefit China and US adversaries if we stopped our overall artificial intelligence efforts in not only society but also in weaponry. But the main reason why Palantir is in the news is because of these comments and because of this truth. Many government agencies are going to gravitate closer to Palantir Technologies to have very informed big data analytics and the ability to make these defensive devices for the military. There's also been a sign of a resurgence in technology-focused military industrial complex defensive items, considering that the U.S. Commerce and Defense Departments agreed to, quote, expand collaboration to strengthen the U.S. semiconductor defense industrial base. So essentially, these two departments will coordinate their investments to develop U.S. semiconductors so artificial intelligence can actually be created, which benefits the American military, because that's what the American military relies on for artificial intelligence. So overall, this is fantastic news, not only for Palantir Technologies, but really for the whole defensive space in general. Some really good investments in in this space would be companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and of course Palantir Technologies. So I would say this is a very positive catalyst as the US military embraces artificial intelligence, and we want to be wary about companies saying that we should have a pause in artificial intelligence development. Now, I understand how there are some people who are uneasy using artificial intelligence because they are afraid that it's going to take over the world. However, if we don't do this, our enemies will be doing that, and that's why the United States is set to embrace artificial intelligence as well as Palantir Technologies in particular. Now let's move on to discuss whether or not investors should buy, sell, or hold Palantir Technologies and why this author says to buy the company. Although I say to hold this company as of right now because I do believe they are trading at a premium, if you are a long-term investor, depending on how long you want to hold this company seems to have a fantastic future growth trajectory. So I would say that you should try to get this company as cheap as possible before you make a substantial investment. However, even at their current share price, dollar cost averaging into this company by investing a few dollars here or there every day or every week will give you an averaged out cost basis, which should benefit you over the long term. Many technology stocks last year, including Palantir Technologies, saw a huge decline in their overall share price due to macroeconomic conditions, to where Palantir Technologies PLTR stock dropped to below $6 per share, which is when I was slamming the table saying to buy this overall company. And now, since we've seen inflation cool off, macroeconomic conditions bounce back more to the positive side, a resurgence in overall technology stocks across the market, a huge artificial intelligence wave on top of the company becoming profitable, that's how the stock price surged from around $6 up to $16 and beyond. However, is Palantir Technology stock a buying opportunity right now? Well, first let's look at their stock chart. Year to date, clearly they have surged in their overall share price due to the many beneficial factors that we just talked about. However, after a stock price raises this aggressively in this short amount of time, clearly we can anticipate a pullback, at least temporarily, before the company starts another uptrend in their overall stock price. Essentially, we don't want to let the share price get too out of control and leave behind their financials. We want to make wise investing decisions based off of the fundamentals of the company, and although I do believe their overall long-term trajectory is going to be very positive, we want to capitalize on these pullbacks to get the company cheaper than what it's trading at right now. An upcoming catalyst for this company is going to be their earnings report, which is set to release on August 7th. However, I do want to highlight a trend which I am not very excited about, and that is their falling year-over-year compounding annual growth rate in terms of their overall revenue. Back in quarter one of 2022, they had a 31 CAGR, and ideally we would want the CAGR to be as high as possible. And if they have a CAGR in regards to the revenue over 30%, it means this company is rapidly expanding, which is very exciting. However, as you see on the chart on screen, their quarter two, then quarter three, then quarter four, then quarter one, their year-over-year growth rate ended up declining quarter over quarter over quarter, and that's what we're going to see in this upcoming earnings report, where it's going to drop down again to between 12 or 16%, 12 on the low end and 16% on the high end. Now, although that is not very beneficial or positive, I do want to encourage investors that in 2024, they are anticipated to regain some of this growth to where their CAGR could be around 19% or higher. So that is very positive. Essentially, as time goes on, we can anticipate that they will land more commercial and government contracts, while hopefully leaning more toward the commercial sector, which I have been predicting for quite a while now. But overall, I am not scared because I'm going to use this opportunity of their CAGR dropping below or around 16% to my advantage, because this is going to cause the share price to trend downward temporarily, and that's when I'm going to buy more shares before it spikes back up. Investors should also be aware of the huge market opportunity that Palantir Technologies is a part of. For instance, in the space of data analytics, AI is being used all the time, to where artificial intelligence is now a necessity to be used in this software. Think about this. There are over 200 million emails sent every minute. Now imagine if you had a platform that could actually crunch all of the information in these emails so you can get the data that you need. And that's where a company like Palantir Technologies would come in, because as we become more technological and more data-driven, more data is being created, which means it needs to be interpreted by companies and platforms like Palantir Technologies. Right now, data is being generated at a scale that's almost unimaginable, measured in zettabytes, to where the zettabyte is equal to a trillion gigabytes. So this trend of AI is very important because it allows various platforms and companies to analyze very large data sets, even as high as zettabyte data sets. And this also means that the AI market itself is going to grow very handsomely. For instance, right now it's forecasted that the AI market was around $142.3 billion in 2022, and that would scale up to $1.8 trillion by 2030 due to the amount of data that is being produced year over year. This provides a multi-year tailwind for Palantir Technologies and other data analytics or artificial intelligence companies as a whole. So while other companies also possess some artificial intelligence capabilities, Palantir has the main competitive advantage, being years ahead of any of their overall competitors. So it's systems that Palantir has that is meant to handle classified documents in the intelligence space or even need-to-know documents in the commercial space. Palantir Technologies is trusted, they have a competitive advantage, and a very long growth runway, especially as more and more data is produced, meaning that better and better data analytics platforms need to be used to crunch and interpret all of this data so you can make data-driven decisions as a company or even as a government, especially in war times. On top of that, I want to highlight for investors Palantir's impressive balance sheet. The company exited quarter one with total assets numbering around $3.7 billion, with their liabilities only being around $879.9 million. So clearly their assets radically outweigh their overall liabilities, and specifically in regards to just their cash position or short-term investments and or cash equivalents, that would be around $2.9 billion at Palantir's overall disposal, meaning they can use this to either hedge their bets against the economy, or they can invest into other institutions, or even they could use this to acquire other companies. The fact that they are sitting on so much cash that the company is profitable and their assets radically outweigh their overall liabilities is a very good fundamental news, just communicating the strength of this overall company, meaning that Palantir Technologies is not at risk of going out of business in the slightest. They also have a very impressive free cash flow, and in their upcoming earnings report, we will get more information on their revenue as well as their earnings per share. So overall, I would say this is a phenomenal long-term investment opportunity, even though I do believe that their current share price of $16.70 is rather expensive, depending on your overall time horizon and how long you plan to hold this company. For me, I am only going to invest into this company on pullbacks, so I am guaranteed to have a lower average cost basis for this overall company, thus leading to phenomenal profits over the long term. Now, I do want to make sure you are practicing proper risk management, because for me, I do not allocate more than a 5% initial portfolio allocation to any singular risky growth company. This would essentially mean that you could pick 20 companies to have in your portfolio, all at a 5% initial portfolio allocation, and depending on how these companies perform, you can take profits when the company is up and reinvest back into the same company once the share price comes back down, which is exactly what I plan to do with Palantir Technologies. So with that being said, I would love for you to go and annihilate that like button, remember to practice proper risk management, become a member of this channel to support me personally and keep me here on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this. With that being said, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you in the next YT video.